Right, in part C of the lab, we are going to ask what happens if we have two light bulbs and we arrange them two different ways. So the first thing you're going to do is make sure that your resistance of your light bulb is set to 57 or whatever it tells you in your lab document. It'll be different for you. But make sure it's set to this number. And the first two columns, you can reuse the data from the first part, from part A. You've already collected voltage and you've collected the current for the circuit with one light bulb. So you can go ahead and paste that information, that data, right here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to set up a circuit where there are two bulbs in series, and we're going to use each of the voltages we had here, and for each voltage we're going to measure the current that flows when we have two bulbs in series. So you have to learn how to set up two bulbs in series. So that looks like this. You're going to take your setup, and I'm going to click right here and unconnect that and shorten that a little bit. And I'm going to move this light bulb over. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a second light bulb and put it there. And then a couple more wires will allow me to connect it. So here we have two light bulbs in series. When they are in series, the electrons go through one light bulb and then through the other, one after the other. Okay? Now, what you need to do is make sure you click on both light bulbs and make sure their resistance is correct. So whatever the resistance is supposed to be of the light bulb, click on both of them and make sure they're both exactly the same. Okay? You will not get good results if you don't do this. So whatever your resistance is, make sure those are both the same, and then we are not going to change those. And then what you're going to do is click on your battery, and you're going to change the voltage. You're going to start at 0, and then go whatever you did first, probably 12, unless you did something different, and measure the current. And then you're going to go up to 24 and measure the current, and so forth and so on. And that's how you collect data for the second column. That is the current that flowed when there were two bulbs in series. The last step is you're going to take those two bulbs and you're going to arrange them differently in parallel. You're going to use the same voltages you already used, but you're going to measure the currents when they're in parallel. And so that is going to look like this. It takes a little bit of work to get it in parallel. I need to separate these connections, and I'm going to move one light bulb up here. Get these connections out of the way here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have one light bulb right here and the other light bulb up here. And so I need a couple more wires here. This one's going to connect like this, and then I get another wire to go over like this, and then one more wire. So now you can see that as the charges come along, they have two different branches. They can go this way or they can go that way. So we say these two light bulbs are in parallel. So again, you're going to make sure they're both the right resistance. That one's 37, this one's 37, or whatever they're supposed to be. They need to be the same. And then you're going to click on the battery and you're going to change the voltage, and as you change the voltage, you're going to measure the current, and that's going to go in the column for two light bulbs in parallel. And then you're going to graph this whole thing. Okay, you'll have this is your X, and you'll have three different Y series. You're going to find a math model for each one and make a graph. Okay, we want to compare how does the flow, the current, depend on whether you have one bulb, two bulbs in series, or two bulbs in parallel. All right, so that's the lab.